Hello again. How are you? I am so excited to be here again. Wow, and I just realized because it took me a couple of minutes, literally, to get set up, and and I realized that it was 1:11 when I got the hint again to come on live and speak to you. So how does it get any better than that, right? If you're here, say hello. If you have any questions, drop them in. Did you see that? Did you see that? I just saw an orb here. How does it get any better? I am just opening up my cell phone to see if I can see myself there. So if you're here, I can see your comments. I know yesterday I came on and some of you did put comments and I did not see any of the comments except for the first one. Hello, Wade. I see you. I see you, Wade. Yay. And it's coming up on my laptop, the hello, but it's not showing up on my cell phone. So that doesn't get any better than this. We are still, I believe, in Mercury retrograde, so I'm just laughing at it. Guys, this is something that, hello, hello, hello. Hi, Mijana. Thank you for being here. I just recorded the most wonderful interview for my podcast. I am so excited to share. You have no idea. It's my mentor, Franco Romero. This is his book, The Closet Spiritualist. I recommend this to everybody. But anyway, I just finished recording it and it's going to be on my podcast coming up in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so I'm like, my energy is like really high. But what I wanted to talk to you about today was how to change your reality. So somebody was asking me earlier about what do the numbers mean and why does it seem to be like so many things are going wrong in my life? Why are things coming up and showing up as like not what I want? Like, why does this keep happening and I'm having a really hard time? This, by the way, is like across. Most people are experiencing some type of difficulty right now. And it is because, and I really want to see if I can be very clear in explaining this, it's not coming up because there's something wrong with you or there's something that you need to do or there's something missing. It's also not coming up for you so that you can buy into it, meaning believe it, and allow yourself to go down the spiral of negativity. So let's say, like something goes wrong. Oh, why does this always happen to me, right? And then you begin to feed that energy, the negative energy of like, this always happens to me. You just said it. And then by saying it, what are you doing? You're feeding it. You're feeding that energy, the thing that happened, and you're allowing it more fuel so that it continues to manifest in your life. Does that make sense? So this is how we manifest. The emotion of like, oh, how does this always happen to me, right? That's the emotion. Then it's the spoken word of you saying what's happening in a negative way, which creates more of that. When you are in that energy, or any energy, because you are creating 24/7, what you're doing is you're tuning into that frequency of things that don't work out for me are continuing to happen. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you. Did you, by the way, Heather, did you get to read the cards that you got from yesterday? Because I didn't see your comment, but then I posted them on it for you. So let me know if you saw them. Anyway, so you are tuning into that frequency by saying it, speaking it, thinking it, and giving it all of your emotions. We create through the thought process plus the feeling and the emotion. So when you have all three of those things together and you're really feeling the feeling, that's when it manifests really quickly. So you will notice that if you're in a place of like feeling really angry or sad or depressed and you're feeding into it and the back of your mind is replaying that old story, replaying what just happened. Sometimes, like, let's say somebody said something mean to you or flipped you in while you were driving, and then you get angry at that and you begin to replay it in your mind, like what could I have said, what could I have done, like blah blah blah, all that stuff. You are feeding that energy to what just happened. And because your emotions are there, especially when you're like really in that emotion, like a child, right? Like a child who's like completely has no filters and is right there in the emotion, what happens is that you are creating a really strong bond to that particular type of frequency, which is attracting to you the thing that you do not want. So this is why it's important to really be very mindful of what you're thinking and putting out there, because sometimes all it takes is that thought and then you just start going down that spiral, right? So if things are coming up for you which they're not something that you desired, who was it here? I'm just looking on my phone. I think it's Jasmine. Jasmine's not here, but Jasmine, she was asking, why does this keep happening so much at the moment? Just letting us know that they're supporting us. No, that was not the question. Sorry, that was not the question. It was somebody else. It was Jessica. Jessica, breath slow. Can you tell me why I'm not getting any good vibes? Why is my life okay? So the comment says, why is my life falling apart? So I'm going to encourage you to say, why does it feel like my life is falling apart, right? Because it isn't. It only is reflecting what you're feeling. So begin to change your words. That's number one. You begin to change the words so that you can create the reality that you want, and you begin to look for the things that you want. So you begin, did I just speak about this yesterday? Because it feels like deja vu here. You begin to look for the little tricklets of what feels good for you, and you begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. One of the things that I have discovered about my own artwork, and I'm not talking about my mandalas, but like just regular free artwork, which most of the time I paint trees, is that a lot of times I have used it myself for therapy, and they end up starting with lots of reds and blacks and browns and like really strong lines, and they're like really ugly, like letting out your emotions. And then after I painted for a while, I begin to use lighter colors like yellows and white, and begin to add the light to it, transforming that ugliness, for lack of a better word, into some type of beautiful thing. And it ends up transforming, and this is exactly how you transform what you're seeing in your life right now. So if you're seeing things that are negative, begin to pick those things. Like, first of all, allow it the space, like acknowledge it. Okay, you're angry. Okay, you're sad. Okay, you're blah, blah, blah. Now, don't stay there. Do not remain in that energy. Now begin to look for the tricklets of light that you can see, so that you can begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you are raising your frequency to a different frequency, a different channel, which is more favorable to you and the type of life that you want to live. Does that make sense? So that's one of the ways to do it. Now, this morning I was walking Teddy, and I get a lot of channeling, a lot of downloads while I walk my dog. And because I'm walking the dog, I do have my phone, but I'm not recording or anything. And I get the best things coming down. And they're like, oh my gosh, I really wish I had like a recording to have collected this. And this is the reason that I wanted to come on now, because I wanted to see if I can tune back into that message that I received. Oh, Heather says I did. Thank you so much. Okay, you're welcome. I'm glad that you got that message, Heather. So what was the message? He was talking about this life is the game. This life here is the game. So what is the game? The game is, imagine you're playing a virtual reality game in which, right, you are playing the game, and in the game you have a character that you choose to represent you, right? That's you playing. And then you have all kinds of obstacles, and you have to go through the game in order to beat the game or get through the levels. So now that is the closest thing that I can tell you to like think that your life right now is the same thing. So your life right now, your person, your human body, like me, or you see me here, Valeria, right? And you, who, whichever one you are, each individual one of you, we are the avatar in the video game that our consciousness, so me, the consciousness of me, and I'm going to point behind me like this big light of consciousness that's me, is watching me create and go through life, whatever issues, problems, experiences that I am living here in this earth. I'm going through all of those things, which is the game. I'm playing the game in order to realize myself, expand myself, experience myself in different ways. Does that make sense? Let me know how that's landing. Let me know if you have any questions, because I'm really wanting to explain this in a way that people can receive it, understand it, and lean more into it, because that's the way that you're going to get the things that you want, the experiences that you want living here on earth right now, for in the way that you really want to. Okay, so everything that's coming up for you, as you're experiencing things that you're not liking right now, they are coming up for you to release. They are not coming up for you to live that stuff again. You may have been finding yourself living over your the same experiences over and over, right? Like, this happened, and now it happened again, and now it happened again. And then watch how you reacted, or what you did in to get out of that situation. Okay, so let's make believe somebody says something mean to you, and then you got very hurt, or you retrieved, or you believed what they said, or you felt sad, or you went away, or whatever, or maybe you got angry and you fought back, and then you got into a physical fight and you got hurt, right? So whatever it is that you did, then you will see that it happened again. You repeated that whole cycle again at a different time with different people, and it's the feeling. So it can be a different thing, but it made you feel the same way, and then you acted, reacted, or responded in the same exact way. And then you may see this happen again and again and again. When we see the same thing that we don't like happening over and over and over again, it's because we have not learned the lesson. So let's put you back in elementary school, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And I'm putting 22 because I'm seeing a 2 plus a 2 is 22, obviously, right? And I learn it. So I do this all through the year. I fail. I repeat the grade. And I do it again. 2 plus 2 is 4. No, it's 22. And I do this all year long. Now, I'm going to keep repeating the grade. I'm going to keep failing the test unless I do something different, unless I begin to understand it in a different way, use different tools to understand it and integrate it, and actually see that it actually could be something else. And I'm specifically saying it could be something else because everything just is. There is no right or wrong. 2 plus 2 could actually be 22, right? It just depends on your perspective and what you're actually trying to do. So you do this plus this equals that, like you have one orange plus two, another orange, then you see 2 oranges, then it makes sense that you have a digital number 2, plus another digital number that is the same thing, and you put them together, that will look like a 22, right? So that is true. So it depends on the concept and the place that, of what you're trying to achieve. So when you're repeating something and you're seeing things over and over, it's because you haven't learned the lesson. So how do you shift? You shift by taking what it is, observing it, acknowledging that you've been here before, asking what is the lesson, or asking what is it that I'm not seeing here? What am I not seeing, right? It's also sending gratitude and love to the experience again, because if it's showing up for you right now, it's showing up for you right now so that you can finally release it. I'm looking at my dog because he's like standing up by the window looking and barking at some other neighborhood dog, which is really funny. So you might hear him bark, which is fine. So you hear him? So now he's really loud. So let me see if I can find myself here again to see if there are any other comments that I am missing. Can you please be quiet there? Okay, I don't see any new comments. So when you begin to shift to, number 1, realize that you've been here before. Number 2, that it must be because Teddy. Number 2 is because you haven't learned the lesson. So seeing it for what it is, like, okay, what's the lesson? Asking it and trying to see what it is, and then acting or reacting in a different way. And here's the, oh, now it's coming back. I need you to be quiet, Bear. Okay, it's that we live in a dual reality. Everything that we see has an opposite, right? Tall, short, cold, hot, warm, cool, I don't know. So everything has a duality. So if you're seeing something happen to you that is not good, for example, somebody saying something not nice to you, and that's true for you, then the opposite also exists and is true right now. The opposite of that would be somebody saying something nice to you right now. You see the difference? So it is your choice where you put your attention and what you believe. So if somebody's right here saying something mean to you, realize, oh, okay, like look at it from the outside. Okay, if they're saying something mean to me, what is the opposite of that, which is also true? What's also true is that somebody is here saying something nice to me or something nice about me. It has to be true because everything in this world has that duality. Everything. We're just choosing to stay in one. So when you're seeing something that you don't like, look at it from the outside. I know I'm repeating it. And then think, okay, if this is true, then the opposite is also true. If you're seeing yourself sick right now, then it must be true that I'm also healthy right now, because that's the opposite. We live in this world of duality, right? And so now I'm thinking I must be healthy. And you immediately shift frequency from thinking and feeling sick to thinking and feeling healthy. Just because you're imagining it, that's how we shift. I talked about playing as if you were the child, play not a little kid, but like the mind of a child. So playing like you're a child. Let me just think and play with the possibility that maybe I am healthy. And immediately you shift to a higher frequency in which you actually are healthy. And the universe, all the energies begin to feed that new reality that you just gave birth to until it becomes your reality, and the one in which you were ill begins to lose energy until it becomes a reality that's no longer in your existence, in front of you right now. Does that make sense? So putting your attention and intention and then your feeling into the places that you want, not the ones you don't. And this is the part that we're so used to doing. And I'm guilty of this too, right? Like how many times, I gotta tell you a story. When I was young, I had fights in my mind with my mother. Like, because she always had the right answer, always. And it drove me nuts. And it's like, okay, the next time something happens, I'm going to say X, Y, Z. And then I would think about this like in a chess game. Like, you know, that if you play chess, you have to look up ahead of the game and kind of predict like what could they do. If they move that, then I can do this. If they move that, I can move that, right? So you're predicting ahead without really knowing what move they're going to do. So I was doing that. So I was like, okay, if she says this, I will say this. If she says that, I'll say this other thing. If she says this other thing, I'll say this. And I will go and I will have these fights in my mind with my mother. And then I will feel ready to tackle whatever it was that I wanted to fight about. And I would go and I would state my statement, and she would spit out a statement that I never thought about. Therefore, I didn't have an answer, right? So I had like all of these things, all this scripted stuff, and she had something else that I had never thought about. It was not in my reality, not in my awareness, and it would stump me, and I had nothing to go on, right? Why am I telling you this story? Because we can only imagine the things that are within the grasp of our own experiences thus far. And your experiences are your human experiences, whatever you have been fed, whatever you have felt, seen, lived, whatever you are feeding yourself through social media, TV, or any shows or reading. All of those are your collective experiences up to which you can create in your imagination of what it could be. As we're children, we have a broader spectrum because we don't have enough time for so many people to say no to us, or that it doesn't exist, or that it's not possible. So our spectrum is much bigger, and we're able to imagine so much broader, which is why a lot of us are really able to see all the realms, all the different colors, spirits. We're able to communicate with ETs or people who have crossed over, or invisible animals, or you have invisible friends. I had invisible friends as a child, right? All of those things happen because we haven't had enough people telling us, no, that's not true, or it doesn't work. But as we get older, we begin to shut those things down and begin to put ourselves into this little box, conditioned by what everybody has been saying to us, and then that's our belief. So get back to playing with your mind, imagining with your mind, and as you imagine more and more, you will begin to see how it begins to open up. It begins to, your experiences begin to veer off a little bit more and a little bit more. They also come in your dreams. So dreams are so important, and they're so expanding right now, because you are literally tapping into other realities. So write down your dreams, write them down, because they have clues for you, and they have pieces and tokens of things that are actually there available for you. And they're also expanding your realm, your consciousness of reality. So let's say you're flying in your dreams, then that means that in your imagination you can already see yourself flying as an imagination, as a creation of my mind, which means that you are expanding into different realms, right? I'm talking about like just flying, like yourself, not on a plane or a helicopter or anything like that, right? So you're expanding. So your dreams are bringing all of this stuff up. We are expanding so much faster now. We are becoming more aware and awakening so much faster. It's like a snowball. I did mention this a couple of days ago. The snowball, it rolls and it gets bigger and bigger, and each time it rolls, it gets more momentum and it becomes much bigger, right? So like, let's say it starts like this and it doubles, and this was like 2 cubic feet, now it's 4 cubic feet, now it's 8 cubic feet, then it's 16. So it's not just going by twos, it's really doubling and adding up so much faster, and that's the same speed at which humanity is waking up right now. Why am I mentioning this? It's because the more that you do the work, the more that you begin to tune into yourself and do this work and begin to dream, imagine, and tune into higher frequencies, the more that your energy, because high frequency expands longer, it reaches longer, your frequency helps more people around you to wake up, to see the possibilities, to become aware. Does that make sense? So it's important for each one of us to continue to raise our frequency by doing the things we love to do, being in the place of play, of joy, of love, and just doing that, we help everyone else do it, because your energy is so potent and so it reaches so much further than the lower frequency energies of why are things not going well for me, or why are things not showing up for me. Does that make sense? Oh, Jessica says, I'll need to go back and listen to this later. I finally got your voice messages to play. Okay, awesome. So let me just check here the other comments to make sure that I answer Jessica's. Yeah. So again, if you're feeling like things are showing up in a way that you're not liking and it doesn't feel good, then it's because it's here for you to release it. And here's the sentence that has come up several times with my clients this past few weeks. Once and for all. You are being given the opportunity right now to release what is no longer serving you once and for all. You're just letting it go. The way you let go of it, again, is by becoming aware of it as you playing the virtual reality game. You, creator, God, looking at the avatar. The avatar is you in your body, experiencing life. That's the game. You're the one who is moving through this space, right? So you're the creator. And that's how you get... I just completely forgot what I was doing. I lost the connection. I was channeling, and I looked down at my phone to see if there were any other comments, and I lost the connection. So thank you for that. Just being told to be present. I am present. Thank you so much. Okay. Wade says, I am leaving the nursing home. I am in after being here for 7 months. I'm trying to understand what I need to focus on. Yeah. Okay, so these questions, you guys are asking so many good questions. If you are feeling the revelations in your own life of this feels heavy, this doesn't feel good for me, it's not for you. Or it's not true for you. Hi, Glenda. Right? It's not true for you. So if you're feeling like it doesn't work for me, like it's just too heavy for me, then let it go. Just let it go. You went into that place for a reason. The reason is always the same. It is for your awareness and your expansion of your soul. Okay? That's why we go through any and all experiences, for the awareness and the expansion of your soul. So if you're in a type of job that you're now feeling like I need to leave and I want to go, go. If you're saying, what do I need to focus on now? The answer is always the same. You. Focus on you. Focus on what you want, on what you feel, and what feels light for you. Okay, I'm going to tell you something else, another story. Somebody, when the pandemic was going on, I started a TikTok channel, and I didn't know how the algorithm works. I can't say the word. And I started going through the feed, and I caught on something that was talking about the V and conspiracies and stuff like that. And when that was happening, I watched. I stopped and I watched, and I consumed that information. Because I did that, TikTok sent me more information, more videos of more different people saying that similar stuff. And I'm watching this and I'm feeding it. I got to the point where I was like super scared, like, oh my gosh, what's going on, blah, 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 right? And I felt heavy and I felt scared. And then I realized, wait a second. I am feeding myself this information, and this information is making me feel fearful, which is a low frequency, obviously. And that's not me. I know who I am. I'm love and light. I'm always feeling good. I'm always feeling amazing. And this is making me feel scared. And then I realized I am buying into the programming that this algorithm I can't speak, is giving me. And I'm allowing it to feed me. I'm allowing it to come in my heart, and I'm believing it, right? So once I believe it, I buy into it. What does it do? It gives me more videos and more subjects of the same exact thing because it thinks I like it. And I do like it because I'm watching it. I'm stopping it and I'm giving it my attention. I'm giving it my energy. So the app keeps giving me more of the same. This is exactly how life works. If something's going on wrong for you and you're stopping there and giving it your attention and you're telling the story and sharing with others and thinking about it, life says, oh, you like this. This is what you want. This is what you believe. Therefore, it presents you with more of the same experiences for you to experience and continue to experience because that's what you're telling it that you want. That's what I channeled this morning when I was working with Teddy. Thank you. Thank you. So that's exactly how it works. So when you're saying things are not working out for me, I don't see a way out, you are repeating to the universe, things are not working out for me, I don't see a way out. And therefore, it gives you more ways for you to have life not work for you and for you not to have a way out. You see? Now, what I did is I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. And then I started seeing like, okay, how does this work? How does this app work? So I started looking at things and following people that I like. There were other light workers, people doing light language, like things like that. And I started watching them. And then the feed started changing to give me more of the things I had liked and more of the things I was paying attention to. So it began to change and shift what it was giving me for me to feed myself. You see? But here's the key. I'm the one who created both feeds. I'm the one who created the first feed by paying attention, staying there and watching it. And I'm the one who changed it by stopping to watch those videos and beginning to follow others that I liked. So I created my own reality just by shifting where I was putting my attention. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm so glad it came through because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is like the 10,000th time that I have walked the dog and received such a good download, and I didn't have anything to write it with or record it, and I really wanted to tell you that story. So I hope it makes sense. If you're here, let me know if that's connecting with you, if it's making sense for you, if you're able to see it and understand, like, oh, because when we are in the whole space of life is not good to us, it's really difficult to believe that I'm actually creating it, right? It's difficult. It's like we don't want to blame ourselves. We're like, no, I don't like this. Why would I be creating it, right? And we don't realize that just by saying that and putting all of that emotion into those words, even if we're saying that I don't want this, all that emotion is what is creating it, because the universe doesn't hear yes or no, that you're saying yes or no. It just hears the emotion that you're putting out is your frequency, right? So you have a frequency that you're tuning into, and that's the frequency that comes right back. Remember, I put the little tuning forks a while back, and it was like it had like 432 hertz, and then you had a different fork over here, and it was moving, and it was doing nothing because it was a different frequency, and then the person changed the frequency fork to one that was the same frequency as this, and hit this one, and then this one started vibrating too. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Did you see all those balloons? I didn't know I could do that with my fingers. I am magic. Oh my gosh, hi Carol. Thank you so much, Carol. I'm glad to have you here. So that's how you create it, right? And I know it's difficult when you're right in the moment of feeling down and feeling sad, depressed, angry, any and all of those really low frequency energies, that it's really difficult to see the light and how to get out. And I'm just telling you that it's just as simple as beginning to shift your attention to the little things that make you happy. Anything, right? So Mother Teresa did this. She was working in the poorest places with the most poor people who were starving and dying and having wounds, and she would go talk to them, connect with them through their soul, right, eye to eye. Like, you know what, when you see somebody that you feel bad about and you don't want to make that eye contact because you're like, I don't want to really look at them because I'm going to feel even worse, right? She wasn't doing that. She was like actually acknowledging them, watching them, and then she would bring one little thing that would bring light to them in that moment. So for example, I have this beautiful rock that I found. It's a heart shape. I always find heart shaped rocks, and I painted it, right? You see that? That makes me happy. It's right here on my box of crystals. And so as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that makes me happy. And so I have it right here next to me as I'm talking to you, as I do my sessions with my one-on-one clients. I have it right here, and I always have some type of energy that really lifts me up, because whatever you put your attention to gets reflected back to you. Whatever you're thinking of, whatever you're looking at, whatever you're speaking out is what gets sent back to you. All right? If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to go. I'm going to also upload this to my YouTube channel. I am asking anyone and everyone here that if you haven't visited my YouTube channel, to please go there, subscribe, like, leave a comment or two, because those are things that really allow the videos to move up and have other people also find the interviews and all of the messages that are coming through that are so important right now to help all the people who are waking up, who don't know or who may not have a place to go to, like, see themselves reflected in like what's happening and what's available to them. So I really encourage you to do that. I know this is a safe place here in this private Facebook group, but I am moving things onto the public space so that more people can reach it. And just asking you from the bottom of my heart to please follow me there, like it again, and share it with as many people as you think might like it. By the way, I have a brand new interview today with Elaine Glass. She is a fabulous author. She's from Arizona. Love, love, love her energy. Go listen to that one. It came out today. And I just recorded one with Franco Romero. I show you his book. He's amazing. He's going to like blow your mind, like seriously. And that interview will come up in a couple of weeks, maybe next week. I don't know. I'll have to decide because it is so good. I don't want to hold it. I don't want to hold it back. I just want to like put it out there and have everybody see it. So make sure that you go and you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you see it, so you actually see him. Everything that you see through me, through him, through any other healers who are speaking, and that make you feel good and light. This is important. Good and light. These are frequencies, codes that are coming through you, through the frequency of the voice, through the gestures that you're seeing. Like, you don't even have to understand what I'm saying. You can speak a different language. It's the transmission of energy that's coming through the screen to you that is activating parts of you, that is opening you up and making you more aware of things. So it's really important. Like, I listen to things all the time, but if you get to also see it, like you get to get the energy in a different way. Also, because we all receive differently, right? So I'm a visual person. If I see you, I get it so much faster than if I just hear it, right? And I definitely get it much more if I hear it or see it than if I read it. Even though reading is a visual thing, I just don't get it much. So all different ways. Just find the way that speaks to you best and use that one. Okay, I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.